Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We are going to keep this video short, sweet, straight to the point, give you guys the info you need to know and none of the BS that you don't, because we did cover a lot in today's video at 3 p.m. So if you guys did not see that one, go ahead and check it out. But nonetheless, let's dive into it, guys. So AMC stock is up about 5% of the time of recording this video. The live short interest of free float continues to hit a new record at 22.89%. The amount of shares sold short sits at 118 million, about 100,000 shares that were sold short today. So continuing to go higher at levels that are indicative of short squeezes. You've never been this high with AMC since 2020, and the short interest this high and never seen a short squeeze or some level of rally. It's never happened before. This would be a first, and I do think, like I've said many times now, I sound like a beat down horse, a rabid dog at this point. You need to see free cash flow numbers with AMC's earnings or a net profit. If that happens, I think a short squeeze is coming. In my personal opinion, if that happens, that leads to a short squeeze, 100% fact. If it does not, then it will lead to more downside, right? If we don't get those numbers, you're going to see more downside. That's only my perspective, my opinion. Don't go off of that and make trades and YOLO your portfolios. That's not a good investing strategy, but that's kind of how I would position my portfolio if those numbers do come out on earnings. I mean, I'm going to make a pretty large trade on AMC to get some leverage there. Now, as far as cost to borrow rates, you're sitting at a cost to borrow rate with Interactive Brokers of 103%. Very high. Cost to borrow average 133%, cost to borrow max 351%, and cost to borrow minimum of 1%. So the data here is definitely looking like you could see a short squeeze, looking like there could be some very positive movements over the next couple of weeks here. And we're going to look at the technicals a little bit deeper into this video. I do want to go over the Stocko tracker data here briefly for you guys, and then I do want to go over where is the Stocko tracker data, and then I do want to talk about something that happened actually with Lucid today that did correlate with kind of when AMC started to actually rally. So the option activity for this Friday, 37,000 calls that are in the money, 115,000 calls that are out of the money. Puts that are in the money sits at about 17,000, and puts that are out of the money sits at 60,000. For next week, you got about 11,000 calls in the money, 37,000 calls out of the money, puts that are in the money 5,000, and puts that are out of the money at 45,000. So you're not looking like a huge option expiration next week, but again, options have not been the driving force of AMC as of recently. One could argue options have been a negative force on AMC recently. The weeks that we do have large option expirations, the stock seems to get pushed down for no apparent reason, and even when the markets are rallying, cannot catch even a small rally. The weeks that you see low option activity, you've actually been seeing a rally, and that's my daughter. You guys just gotta bear with me on that one. But nonetheless, that is the Stocko tracker data. The big story of the day was core PCE is coming down at its fastest annual pace since October of 2021, now hitting 4.4%, whereas consumer spending dropped 0.2% in negative territory, pointing to the economy that was grinding to a halt as 2022 closed. Personal income increased 0.2% for the month as expected. So you did get some data today. Personal spending is very negative, showing the economy is slowing down. PCE was positive. So a little bit of counteracting forces there, and you are seeing specific sectors doing better and worse than others, right? Semiconductors not doing so well today since Intel earnings were terrible. Technology doing pretty good today. EV stocks doing even better today. EV stocks are flying today despite everything else going on. Why? Well, because of this. EV maker Lucid surges on report that Saudi pipe private investment fund to buy remaining stake. And this did come from a website called Betaville. The website uses the term uncooked to refer to to market gossip. The PIF, the sovereign wealth fund that owns more than 65% of Lucid, did not immediately respond to a request for a comment. Lucid also declined to comment, and you can see it started to get circulated by Reuters even at 2:10. It said Lucid Group stock soars following public investment fund takeover speculation. So this did start to get spun around a lot of different places, and it looks like the Saudis might be trying to acquire the rest of Lucid. And this is actually, in a weird way, helping to push AMC stock higher on the day. Tesla is up 12%, Lucid up 47%, Rivian up about 10%, even Apple is up 2%, heading into a very crucial earnings report from them next week. The Fed meeting next week as well on Wednesday. You're going to get Google, you're going to get Amazon, you're going to get Facebook, AMD, you're going to get so many big companies next week. Your head is going to be spinning with all of the earnings, and the markets, they are going to react very violently to all of that. So that is definitely having a role to play with AMC. Lucid short interest is 25%. Seems like when those high short interest stocks start to rally, and certainly when a lot of them start to rally, it can also feed off into AMC. Now, AMC is holding above its critical squeeze level, closing out this week. Next week is going to be pivotably important for AMC as well. As you guys do know, I just said you have major earnings. You have Fed Jerome Powell. If you can hold above this 530 level, that's going to be really, really, really good for AMC. You need to hold this level heading into earnings, and then you get those metrics that we just talked about. Free cash flow, net income. If those are in positive territory, well, you might be home sweet home for another short squeeze with AMC. Nonetheless, if you do pull up the indicators like the RSI, that is at 54.63, so in positive territory, but not that positive. It does show there could be a lot more upside from here before you do get batted down by those trading algorithms. And the MACD is now slightly in positive territory above this neutral line, but there could be a lot more of a rally here before this data starts to look too positive. Like you see back here, the RSI is right here. The August rally, the RSI was this. The March rally, the RSI was right here, right? And the June rally, the RSI was right here. This is where you could go as far as the relative strength index and the MACD. Well, you're not even showing a small hump yet. So I do think that is a positive thing. And if you can break above this downtrending line right here, that's going to be the best possible outcome heading into earnings, and that could give us an even more explosive move, guys. So that is really going to be it. That is everything we did not cover in the 3 o'clock video. A little bit that we did cover in the 3 o'clock video, but not too much else to actually say. We covered a lot today. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. Most importantly, enjoy your weekends, and I will see you in the next one.